This conference will now be recorded.
Hey guys, good morning. How many guys have started practicing on Kubernetes, guys? Who are practicing at Kubernetes? Say truly. Is anyone started? What about others? Is anyone installed the cluster? Is anyone setup done? Any other one? Only one now. What about others, guys? Respond. Anyway, today is very less people are joined. Okay, that's fine. Now let's discuss about the secrets today. Okay. And last class we discussed about config maps and meanwhile what I'm gonna do, let's start these servers. Start this. And last session we discussed about the config map. What is the difference between config map and secret is? Config maps are stored non-sensitive data. It's stored in a key value pair format. And what are the data is non-sensitive? Those kind of data we will store in the config maps. Like what is non-sensitive means that we already see that, right? Like as you know, it's just property values. Like whatever it does not contains usernames, passwords, okay, and any like secret keys and keys, authentication tokens, or any kind of, okay, these kind of tokens or keys or username passwords, those kind of data we're calling as a non-sensitive data. Whatever it has, like a sensitive data means whatever it contains is a like usernames, password, all the things, those we are calling as a sensitive data. Those kind of data we can store in the secrets object. Okay, that's very very important. Just remember, it's a very very important interview question also. What is the difference between the config map and secrets? Okay, and they will ask you like how do you read that secret object, how do you read the config map object inside your pod. The config maps we already discussed in the last session. And let's discuss about the secrets. Let's create a secrets and encrypt the values and use that encrypted values, then use this secret object into pod. All those things we're gonna discuss now. Now this is secrets. Let's discuss about the secrets. Okay, see, a secret is an object that contains a small amount of sensitive data such as password, tokens, array keys, or those kind of. Such information might other can be put in the pod specification or image. Putting in a secret object allows to more control over how to used, okay, and the reduce the risk of accidental exposure. Accidental exposure means we don't want to expose the these kind of images. And remember, this is not more than 1 MB. Its secrets also stored in the key value pairs. And see the secrets, to use the secret pod, a pod is reference a secret object. A secret can be used with the pod in two ways. Pass this secret, pass the secret entires into the container as environment variable. This is a one way. Expose the secret entire file as in a volume. There is a two option, using volume and then using environment variables. Both we can use, based what are the based on the requirement. And let's see how we can create a secret object. Creating a secret using a kubectl create secret object, and say that we have some, say that some pods need to be accessed database. The username password that pod should be used in this file, like some file, the password file, and then on your local machine, let's create this. And first of all, let's connect this our master node. Let's connect the master node. As of now, we don't have any secrets, guys. Okay, let's get that kubectl get custom secrets. Do you have any custom secrets? No, right? This is the default token one, which we got, auth token is like service account auth token. That is the token which we have. And otherwise, if you use the all objects, if you see all this kind of every account has a service account, and these are tokens are available. Service account token, service account token, service token, service token, service token. This is the only will attached for this. Okay, and other than else, nothing else is there for custom secrets. Let's create a custom secrets now. Means our application related secrets. Now what I'm gonna do, I will have a one admin username. That username I'm gonna keep it into username. Both we can keep it in the single file also that you are wish, or else both into different files. Now as of now, what I'm doing now, I'm doing in the both in the different files. Sir, this is the way we need to copy like this. No, actually, what even though we can create a one file and then keep it this into admin that file. Let's instead of two times, I'm returning a simply. Let's go for username file. If you see this is the admin. This is the admin. This is the admin is stored here. If you see here, admin is stored here. Admin username is the admin. Okay. Then password also same. I'm keeping this password. This is just sample one. This is sample values, guys. Okay, it's not a real one. This is samples. Like as if you have any database username password, we can based on that we can use that your keys and then values over there. Okay, keep remember that. And the next, the kubectl create secret command package these files and secrets and secret the object on the API server. See like how do we create this now? See kubectl secret generic db user password and db user like as from file password like this is the object name, secret object name, and the from file username is the one and password is the one. If you have both in the single file, that's also fine. Now let me keep it this. Let me execute a secret object. Generic, what is the command? Create secret, the generic way, and this is the object name, and this is the username file, and then password file, two files. Same, the config map, the syntax, same like. Now the secret object is created. Let's do the get secrets. See here. So db user pass. This is the one which we created. Even if you describe this kubectl, describe secret and secret object name. Let's describe this. See what it contains data. But what is the values inside this? Even that is not showing. If it is a normal object, it will show the what is the content of this file. If you remember the previously the data, key value, paste, everything will show. Yes or no? Right? You remember that this file name it will show inside the file name what is the key values it will be there. It will be show that. Now let's keep it that same way. Let's do that get secrets and we already done that. Create a manual secret. If you want to create manual secret also we can do. What I'm gonna do, let's do one thing. This is the environment variable way. This is the file to using this. Okay, and there is another method. Okay, remember guys, this what is this base 64 is basically, let me show. If you see echo, let's say Madhu, whenever we are going to execute anything in real time scenario guys, and we are encrypted this base 64 is the encryption algorithm to encrypt that content. Now normally if I print the echo Madhu, what it will print? Madhu only will print. If you want to encoding format, how you can do? There is the algorithm for base 64. It's inbuilt for this command is available in Linux machine, and if you run this will be convert into this way. Okay, this is no one can be like, sir, they can decrypt, right? Again, this is encryption. Yes, they can be decrypt, but it's not be that much easy to decrypting that what is the value we are using or anything. But until unless if they know you are using a base 64 algorithm and encrypted. Clear, guys? Clear now? This is a good, like, to provide the more security for your username, password, all these things. The same way we are encrypting these values inside your secret object or any Linux mission. For example, let's say in real-time scenario where I use this. For example, the developer is asking me to create a one Linux mission, and he wants to create one username password. In that username password, I create username and password also I created. Okay, even we do with passwordless authentication, still I'm providing the password for him. The password name, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna give his like his first name of his mail ID and convert into base 64, and that password I'm gonna share with him. Then what happened, he will get to know that, okay, this is the password for this. Okay, the is, and he don't know what is exactly the value of I which I used. Okay, he will store this somewhere, and then he this value, and then it can be used for whenever he required. Okay, understand, guys? It's no. Now what I did, like, let me do this value same encrypted way. This is the one, admin one, password. This is the password. This is the password. Okay, these two. Okay, the next, let's create a secret object, like we using environment variable. This is the method is the using environment variable. See, this is the same values which I created. Okay, this is the one is that admin and that password. This is that password, and that password is the encrypted password. What do you mean? Like, let me show this. Save this file. Save this file. See this. This is the username encrypted. Okay, this is the username. This encrypted. This value I got. This is the value, and after encrypting, I got this value. What I'm gonna do? This value I'm gonna keep it in this object. This admin. This are that password. The encrypted value I keep it here. If you're not using encrypted value, it will show the error. Okay, the values are not encrypted, proper encrypted formation. Can you please make it the encryption format and use these values? The error will show for us. That error we need to be updated here. Is it clear, guys? Clear now? Yes or no? Yes, this is our values. I keep it here. Instead of direct value, just we are doing just for encrypted values there. Just okay, because no one can be see that. Now let's create this object and see, and do the get secrets, and see this secret, my secret is created for us. My secret is created for us. Okay, and even if you want to YAML file format, let's do this. This is the one we got the data which we appear here, which we created the secret get secret object of this YAML file format of this my secret. My secret means which we just created. Now, how we can use this inside our bot, that is a different question. Okay, that we'll use in the next option. Okay, just we create a secret object. And if you want to decode this, how we can decode? Like, we can use this option as in case if you want to decode this, like a basic to iPhone different decode means the actual value will come here. This is the actual value. See, this is the password actually. If you do the encoding, you don't need to mention here encoding anything, encryption. And if you want a decryption, you can use the -n decode. This value will be decoded and this will come the actual values. Fine. In case someone will provide the like as one encryption object. Okay, let's say, and you can decode that, and you need like I see you keep it that encryption values, and you are trying to authenticate the some database and all. It's not nothing like it's saying that username password is wrong, but you will get this kind of values. And how we know this is the password? And what you do, if you want to troubleshoot your username password, you can decode that value. After decoding, you will get the actual value and check that that actual value is correct or not. If it is not correct, then update the new encrypted value and then keep update the new encrypted value. Then your problem will be resolved. Understand? Na? In real time scenario, that is the what even I face this kind of issues many times. Okay, the values are updated. That 90 days the password will be changed every time. The password is not updated. To update that password again, we can encrypt that password is set updated or not. If updated, that's not a problem. Then if not updated, then open that in actual value and update the new value and restart the pod. Then the application will be work. Clear, guys? Clear now? Okay, now see this. See this next. This is an example for pod. Use the secret as the environment variable. This is the secret object in the pod. Let's see how we can use these secrets inside the pod. This is the one main important. This is the same exactly we are using in real time scenario. Why this man coming like this? Okay, now this is the password. See, this is a pod manifest, and this is the meta name of the pod, and the spec containers. This is the Redis is just I took one Redis image. Redis is the one. What is the Redis basically, guys? What is the Redis? I think you remember we discussed in AWS course. Huh, database only, but not actual database, right? What is the purpose of this Redis we are using? What is the use of Redis, guys? Man, what is this? We discussed in AWS, right? Like, remember Memcache, Memcache D and Redis, Elastic Cache. No, it's a Memcache kind of Redis. Okay, like Redis is a Memcache kind of database. That means if you have some like let's say one database, okay, and you are getting some select query. Okay, select query every time hitting the database. What we do, we use the Redis. It will reduce the burden of your database calls. It will be making more faster. It's kind of in-memory database. Understand, guys? It's a memcache. We are calling it a memcache. Understand, no? This is you remember this memcache D and Redis. There's a two types are there. Redis is a more reliable. I'm not sure if you remember or not. Okay, then it has the multi-AG setup available and multiple difference even I discussed in AWS course. Fine. Now that is the one of the like as this image is means Redis is the one database that I'm gonna running here. And the next environment, in the environment, I'm gonna pass the secret username, secret password. Okay, this username from where I can refer this using volumes here. Using volumes, like as secret key reference, my secret username, my secret password. Here the same which I created as the values. This my secret is a secret object name. Inside the key name is username. My secret is the object. Okay, like as the object name, and the key name is the password. What do you mean? Let's see. We just created my username, password, and this is a secret object. My secret. The same thing I'm using. My secret, username, password. Understand, this is the volume prompt. Like as you know, how this is exactly we are using in real time also. The volume prompt option. Again, this is the only two values. In maybe let's say 5, 6 values in the same secret object. Okay, encrypted values will be there that we can use inside that. Let me create this secret object. Huh. Tell me to something. Someone is speaking. 1 second. Suddenly don't open, man. I'm scared about that. Tell me to someone is trying to speaking. Epsiba, I think you are the one is unmute the mic, right? Okay, fine. Any questions, guys? It's the secret object which we created. Inside the key is what? Username is the key. If I call this key, the value will come. The value of it will assign to this key, and this value will be assigned to this key. That means password encrypted password will be assigning this key, and encrypted username will be assigning to this key. These keys are using for the this Redis. Okay, this Redis. And sir, how I know, like as if it is a real-time Java application, how I know these names, sir? How I know these names? Who can provide this? These names and these keys, everything provided by the developer. Okay, what are the properties he needed? Whatever the keys he needed? What is the value of that application? Everything we won't need to worry about that. This everything will be given by the developer. The key names and this environment names. Okay, and then everything will be to the developer. In case if he don't know that username, passwords or anything, if you create any databases, that database username password, if you know, then you can update that username passwords. In case if he has some other applications he is trying to migrating, okay, like as he is connecting. If you want to connect with the one application to another application, they need a secret key. You remember we discussed a Sonar Cube. The Sonar Cube, if you want to come like as integrate with the Sonar Cube and Jenkins, we got one key. That key we are keep it into the your username password, right? Their secret key we set up. You remember, guys, in Sonar Cube. Now instead of username password, we create the secret key. That key, what does mean? That is contains the username password. Even that also okay. And then even though nowadays this GitHub also they are not allowing to create a keys, right? Like as this also will be creating a one key. Let me show that. For example, if you take this GitHub also settings, what I mean keys means, let me show that. Instead of username password, they can provide the keys. If you go for developer settings, go for uh, where is that? Okay, 1 second. And go for settings. Setting here. Settings. Developer settings and personal access token, and generate a new token. And if you give that, what are the, if you want to generate the token instead of password, they are not allowing a password, right? We need to create a token here. The token name, let's say, this token will generate, right? This token if you give means, that means what? It is a username password, like password. In this place of password, we can use this token. This kind of tokens will given by the who? Developer will give it for us. The tokens we can use inside our this kind of secrets. Clear now? Like as any like as you want to connect with any other application, any software you want to communicate. Let's say you are connecting for Jenkins to SonarQube. Let's say you want to connect with the some vault, you want to connect the databases, you want to connect the Redis databases, you want to connect with the whatever the username password to provide that application. If you want to communicate that, you need a username password. Those kind of any secret object we are using inside the this key and value, and those object we are encrypted. That encrypted value we can keep in the secret object. That secret object we are using a volume from, and then those names we are going to use inside our pod. Clear, guys? Clear now? This one. Sir, this syntax, how I know, sir? Like again, you guys will question mark. This is a syntax, okay? The way we need to use the volumes from, even if it is a config maps also same, and then secrets also will same. It's everything is same. Even the same thing we discussed here in config maps also. Volume from that, config map reference. If you guys remember or not, let me show this config maps are there. Yeah, did you create config maps? The config map reference, environment from config map reference. With the volume from if using, then is the config map one. Let me show this. This is the way we can use the config maps. You remember last session we discussed. That is the syntax of the how to use the config maps inside your pod. This one, volume from config map reference, and this key and value same. Here secret map key reference we just used. Here is the config map key reference and the secret key reference here. Nothing else different. The same code for everything. Config map key reference. Here secret key reference. Clear, guys? Clear now? This is a syntax. Okay, this is a common syntax to read the config maps or secrets. Okay. In config map directly we can keep it the values, but in this scenario what we do, we are going to encrypt these values. So we are encrypted these values and keep it that. If you keep it the normal values, it will be giving a issue. Okay. Now what we can do, let's apply this. Now the config, the objects is created, get secrets. What is this? This is the secret set pod. We create a pod, right? Get pod. What is the pod? Secret environment pod. This pod is created. Even you can describe this pod. kubectl describe. Why we are using these things? Just we are not exposing the values inside the pod. That's it. That is the main intention we are using. Understand now? Even we can use directly environment properties key name one value. Okay, instead of config map and all. But keep it everything in the one place. That is a good option. If anything feature you want to change, just changing that key and values. That will be very simply to change instead of go on search in the pod manifest or everything. Without secret and without config map also we can deploy application. But the problem here is if it is a secret value means you are exposing the username passwords. Okay, and if it's a config map means like if any again again in future if you want to change the properties, and there if that properties are using a 10 pods, let's say, and 10 pod places you need to be changed manually. Either we can use the config map, you can use the config map in 10 pods. If you change one place, is the 10 pods will be affected at it. Understand? It's a just variable kind of like as it's improve the reusability. Understand now the use of config maps? Describe pod name. Describe pod name. If you can observe here, see, can able to see this data. But if you see this normally, you can able to see. If it is a normal config map, we can able to see. Understand, guys? Understand now? It won't be exposed. It won't be expose your credentials here. It won't be, if it is a config map, it will expose here. But if it is secret object, it won't be exposed here. Okay, that's one. This is the using volumes. This is the two ways I discussed, right? One is that using expose using the volumes, another one is the secret using the environment variables. Then how we use the environment variables? Let's see this. Okay, this is username and password. This is we are using for what? Using the environment variables. Using the environment variables. Okay. Now, but we didn't create a DB credentials, right? This is a value, just want to reference it. We don't have a path here, DB credentials. Right? 1 second, just to use it. What you do, let's create this volume. Okay, let's see this. Let me run this pod. I'll show you. Okay, we'll copy it. Let me see this. Let me save and run. Let me run this. Now kubectl get pods. Let's see this, get pods and secret environment pod with this is running. Let's go inside the pod. That's we discussed in the last class how to debug inside the pod, right? Now even if we describe this, let's describe first. Describe pod name. Now basically this path is created inside your pod. This path will create inside your pod. Let me show that the volume. If you remember, guys, like in Docker, what is how we can declare the volumes. Now this is the -v. This is your source. Now let this is in your host path. Like my let's you remember now Jenkins home we did. Let's say Jenkins home and colon inside the path of var lib something. For example, let's say. Clear now? This is the even if it is not there, it will create. If it is not there here, it will be create. And if it's already existed, this data will be stored into this. Yes or no? You remember in the Docker level we discussed the volumes to create. Now the same way here, this will be create inside your pod. Okay, let's see that. Here, if you see the describe the pod, this is not showing here. Okay, and let's what I'm gonna do. Let's go inside this pod and see that where did created this or not. Now here and go to the etc. Let me exit from here. If you want to tab and all, if you want to work, then what you do, you can go for bash terminal. Bash terminal will go, it will go to the directly with this path. Bash or sh, okay, both, anything is fine. See, and here there will be a db crates, okay, this is the folder db crates. See, this is the data username, this is a key. This is soft link, this is the soft link. See, the value will be admin here. What it means, let me show. This secret object, do you provide for any environment variables here? This secret object, what we when we created this secret object, now this secret object we created here using environment variables. This is my secret, this is the username password we are created here. The same secret object, instead of using this, volumes here, what this is the volumes, the way we can use. And if you want to use the environment variables directly, you can specify that, the volume names and then the secret object name here, the secret object name here. Now this value will be stored inside this path, and this path, what are the application using that username password, it will be used inside your application. Okay, but this is not the way we are using real-time scenario. We are mostly using this method. Clear, guys? Clear now? Even most of the applications we are using this method, using environment. This is the environment variable, and this is the volumes. This is the volume mount. This is the environment variables. This method is the environment variables, and this method is the volume mounts. Okay, guys. As I told, this is the volumes or what? No, this is volume from, but it's an environment variable. Okay, and this is for actual volume mounts creation, and the secret object are stored into this volume mount, and the name is, the file name is the db credentials, and it's only read, you can't able to edit this, it's only read permissions, and this db credentials. Okay, and see this. Okay, let's see, cat password, this is the password. If you see the description, this secret object, now what I'm going to do, let me exit from this kubectl, get secrets, my secret. If you can observe here, this is the username password. This is the same files R will be created under here. The path will be stored dot dot and then username dot dot password. The value whatever it contains, it will be stored there, but it won't expose that your credentials. It won't expose your credentials anywhere here. Sir, 1 second, sir. Basically, even if we can store these credentials, right? Like as, for example, let's say this secret object. Okay, this secret object also is storing these keys and these values, and either even this my secret object also. My secret, while creating this my secret object also, we are giving this username password here, right? But it's a encrypted values. First of all, it's a encrypted values. Sir, someone can be decrypt this, right? But it's not exposed via, what you can say, in the internet, whatever could be. That's the reason even secret object, mostly what we do, we are not stored into, let's say, in a GitHub or somewhere. Okay, we can directly run this into this object to somewhere. Understand, no? This kind of any sensitive data objects we are not storing in the GitHub or any public place. It's maybe it's our private repo or somewhere we are gonna store this. This is just Mostly I'm going to use for environment variable. If you want a volume option, then create a one volume and then use this. Clear? I'm going to use this mostly in my real time. This is the object type they're going to use it using environment variable. Understand, guys? It is simple, as simple. Okay. Remember, again, I'm telling you. Okay. Basically, what happened, right? We have some keys and values. Okay. That keys and values is, if you can directly, we can, instead of this, okay, just we can see this name and value. We can give the directly value here also. Some value here. Then that also will work like as directly username password. But why we can not using this method is because we don't want to expose these details. Or else let's say reusability. If you want to increase your reusability, let's say same key are using the 10 pods, let's say. Same key you are using 10 pods. Now, if it's something that value will change in the future, you need to go for 10 pod manifest and 10 pod manifest we need to replace and then you need to restart the 10 pods, right? Now, instead of that, we can create a one config map object, use that config map object in the 10 places. If I change this config map, where is this config map, this config map or this secret, if I change this value, what happened, it will be changed for all the places. Yes or no? That is the main intention of to use the config map and secret. And secrets are also is very important for to not exposing for your sensitive data. It won't show inside the pod manifest. We just observe right here. It is not exposing here. See this. Understand, guys, why we are using config map and secrets? Just simply, okay, the config map and secrets, we are storing the just key value pairs that we can use the config map, the non-sensitive data. Secrets are using the sensitive data, and those the secrets we can use the two values, two ways, and one is the environment variable, and then another way is that volumes. Okay, mount the volumes. The two methods I shown here. Sir, where exactly we can get this means? I'll show this another example. Okay, let's how we can do. Okay, this is one real-time project we are doing, right? That time I'm showing this secret object how we can use in real-time scenario. Now you have the private repository. You want to read the values from the, let's say I have a Docker images. Docker images are stored in ECR repository. Then how to pull that Docker images to your Kubernetes object. Okay, there we can create a secret object of your Docker login credentials. That login credentials we are secret object. That secret object we are using inside our while pulling your images. Clear, guys? Understand now? We have end-to-end project. That time I'm going to show you with Ansible and Kubernetes. I'm going to show you one end-to-end project. That need to takes minimum 2.5 hours, guys. I'm going to planning for that projects into the one weekend. Okay, maybe this weekend or maybe upcoming weekend. I'm going to take that. Fine. Sunday session I'll take. Any questions, guys? It is simple. Okay, don't confuse too much this secret map and configs. Okay, just keys and values to read that for in the one place. That's it, nothing else. This object syntax you can't remember, even I can't remember. Okay, we can, if you see what happens in real time now in the Kubernetes documentation, even when you written the exam also they can refer this document in Kubernetes administration exam. They allows to you know to, like I said, reading for these volumes. We can bookmark it here, what are they're gonna asking. Okay, let's see the secrets. If someone will ask secrets, then we can use this. It's a secret. It's just we are used. This is just we use cases of container environment variables. This is exactly we are using just. This is a volume mounts. This is another example. These two ways are there, two ways are used. Best practices you can read. The syntax and every option is getting from the documents, the config maps. If you go for config maps, it's also same. That's what I'm just no told now. This Kubernetes, Ansible, and Docker, and then all those we're gonna do for one weekend. Okay, and let's say maybe the next Sunday, 13th of January. 13th January, I'm gonna take. And this week and next week, maybe I'll complete for your Terraform one. Okay. After this week I'll take for this Sunday. I'll take for 13th for Kubernetes one, 6th for Terraform project. These 2 weekends I'm gonna complete for your two projects. One is Terraform project, another one is the Kubernetes project. Terraform with ECS Fargate. I think in our AWS course we discussed about ECS Fargate, right? You remember we can just simply deploy for your containers with the lightweight serverless ECS Fargate. I discussed, right? Yes or no in AWS course? In AWS course. ECS. In ECS we say here we discuss. You remember or not? I'm not sure. Just the 10th video. The same way we can make it for complete automation. Like as you know, once the Terraform is complete, then you guys will understand that. Okay, that's we'll discuss. And tomorrow, what we're gonna discuss? Let's discuss about the ingress concept. Okay, ingress concept. With this ingress concept, you can't achieve with this QBADM, guys. Okay, because the QBADM is not allowing to creating a load balancer type. Okay, load balancer type you want to create, either we can use for EKCTL or or something, we need to EKS or what are the provide you can do. But if you want to like bare metal load balancing type, we need to use the meta LB. Okay, I never tried this meta LB. This bare metal consideration nginx controller. This one, this load balancer type QBADM you won't be create actually. Okay, this bare metal we need to create, and then you need to be do this ingress object. But I never tried this bare metal one. This is again third party library, guys. Okay, we'll discuss this in service type. There is a different types now. One is what like as what is the service types for node port, cluster IP, load balancer type, right? We discussed till now cluster IP is by default one. Node port is the second option. For every node we need no access. But instead of every node IP, instead of providing that, all node IPs we together into can provide one URL. That URL is the load balancer URL. Okay, that's what I'm trying to. That will see this. I don't know how this guy has done this. This is a node port. This node port we discussed already. It's fine. I'll show you with this, EKS cluster, then how to create EKS cluster, and then, how to write a EKCTL API. Okay, maybe some companies are using in the EKCTL API. Then how do you set up? And then how do you set up for HTTPS application? How do you create ingress controller? Okay, all those we're going to discuss in the next further classes. It's little bit confused topic, but it's very meaningful one. And if you want to understand end-to-end flow, this is the ingress, secrets, okay, sorry, ingress, and then service object and deployment object. These three combination we are going to create for our project actually. Okay, and certificates, how to create a certificates. Certificates means you guys remember, na? We discussed in Dakar or somewhere. For HTTPS, we created let's encrypt one. Yes, remember? Cert board, let's encrypt, and then creating HTTPS domain instead of HTTPS domain. You guys remember? Yes or no? We created one domain from where it is freenom.com. There we created one domain. That domain we bought. We can create our instead of IP address or load balancer names, we given our own custom domain name JMSTH that 33 some 32 somewhere something dot com or something we did, na? You remember in freenom.com. We create a free domain and then we create a certificate for this. That's what I'm asking. Okay, and those things again it will come to here also, that I'm gonna show you again. Okay, how we can make it our application HTTPS and all. First we'll make HTTP and then let me convert into HTTP to HTTPS. The real-time scenario, everything is HTTPS. Okay, we never be used for HTTP. Okay, even you will understand for any environment. If you go, you can understand easily for this HTTPS. Clear, guys? Okay, then see you on tomorrow, guys. Okay, guys. Bye. This month ending, maximum our course will be completed. Okay, bye. Bye.